Okay, so welcome to the Let's Get Inspired live vlog. This is episode 15, by the way. My name's Brad. Today it's a Sunday. This has been broadcast in England, in northwest England. The time is 11 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. Yeah, so we're going to get into it. The title for today's live vlog is why carrying everyone's energy feels so heavy. So why carrying everyone's energy feels so heavy. Hi to Sander. Nice to see you again. Yeah, so I just want to say thank you to everyone that's subscribed so far. Honest to God, it's so massively appreciated. And yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being involved. Sander says hi. Hello. Hello again, should I say. So yeah, obviously this is being delivered in a live fashion, obviously. I'll be as genuine and as real as I can, as imperfect as that's going to be, of course. So yeah, let's get into it. So just sorry, one moment. So I'm fasting today. This from until about evening, so I'm not drinking. I'm drinking, sorry, but I'm not eating, should I say. So black coffee. One moment. If you do hear interference, please let me know and I'll adjust my microphone. So referring to my notes, but most of it's freestyle, what I'm saying. So acknowledge the emotional weight that's been building personally or in the world. So what, Sandy, what are you saying? What do you drink? Is it difficult to fast? Yeah, for me personally, it can be difficult to fast. It depends, I think. What do I drink? I drink water, obviously. I drink green tea and I drink black coffee without the milk because the milk will ruin the fast, basically. That's what I drink. I find that, yeah, is it difficult to fast? For one day, I find it quite easy. Sorry, I'm not getting the words out perfectly today. Yeah, sometimes it can be difficult to fast though, yes. But I do it for autophagy reasons. And autophagy is when the body starts to eat away the dead cells in your body. That's why I fast. So it's eating all those zombie cells, those dead cells. That happens after about 18 hours. That's the main reason why I fast. It can be difficult sometimes, of course, because you're just obviously going to get hungry. But I find this keep drinking fluids helps you to alleviate that. And a lot of the time it's mind over matter. So you're just deciding, I'm not going to eat today. I'm just going to drink water, etc. And I always think about the benefits of autophagy. And also your body is running off glycogen, obviously sugar, whatever you want to call it. And usually when you're eating, but when you stop eating, after 18 hours, your body starts to run on ketones. And that's like a cleaner kind of energy, and you feel more vitalized and energized. So it can actually make you feel good, believe it or not, when you fast. But the longer you go, it's going to get more difficult, obviously, more challenging, but the benefits are much more. But I'm not going to talk about that too much today, but good question, thank you. So I'm going to move back on track. So I'm acknowledging the emotional weight that's been building in society, in life, and sometimes well, for me personally, it can do. I'm looking at the news, I'm looking at the wars. Sorry, it sounds negative, but I'm looking at the wars, I'm looking at the instability, the financial instability of the country, the fact that there could be wars at some point. I'm looking at all AI and all those types of things that can be very scary. And what was I going to say? Sorry. Yeah, and it's scary, isn't it? It's worrying, potentially. But can I control these things? No, I can't control these things. And but if you get sucked into all of this, it can be emotionally challenging, let's say, can't it? It can be a heavy weight to carry. And if you go down that loophole too much, it's not going to feel good. You're going to feel helpless. You're going to feel negative. And my thinking is just to come away from those things. These things are designed, aren't they? People probably know this a lot of the time. Media, it's all about bad news, isn't it? It's all about disasters. It's all about wars. It's all about fear, fear, fear. It's keeping you pinned down. It's keeping you at a low vibration, isn't it? It's not good to be there. It's okay to acknowledge these things and to be aware of them, but don't get sucked in emotionally. Don't get upset by it, is the thing, because it's just going to be no good for you. It's no good at all. So that's what's been building up for me personally. But sometimes it can happen in people's lives, can't it? They can be, I don't know, if you're a parent, a mother or a father, and you're expected to be the strong one and everyone's leaning on you to deal with all the problems, and you can never express your emotions because you've got children, for example, who are very needy, that need your support for obvious reasons. And that can weigh down on people as well in different ways. And it's just how not being aware of these things and helping you to navigate those things and trying to be your best self, really. And just to reiterate what my channel's all about, what I intend it to be about, is I'm an inspirational ambivert. I'm trying to inspire people to be the best version of themselves. I don't know all the answers. I don't always communicate the best. I'm not perfect myself, and I'm learning myself through this process as well. But I think the world needs more of this. The world can be very scary sometimes. Life can be very scary. Life can be very stressful. And I'm trying to navigate that the best I can for myself. I don't even get this perfect. I don't get this perfectly either. I'm being honest and open. But I just think we need to, I don't know, be the best version of ourselves, be more conscious is what I'm trying to think. That's my type of message that I'm trying to send out there. And I believe that that's what I'm meant to be doing. That's what I'm meant to be doing. So that's what I'm doing with my life. I'm trying to be actively involved in making the world a little bit better in my own little corner of the world, let's say. So let's move on. Referring to my notes as well, by the way, to be open and honest. And I just say thank you again to anyone that's subscribed. It makes a huge difference. Anyone that's liked, anyone that's left a comment, I massively appreciate it, by the way. So thank you. So, moving on. What does energy weight even mean? So what does energy weight even mean? So, yeah, like I've said, the world and things can be worrying, and it can affect you mentally, can it? Especially as well. I don't know, from my own perspective, I work really hard in my job. This isn't my job, by the way. This is a passion project. But I work really hard in my job. I do long hours. I'm not rich. This is not woe is me. It's just the way it is. I have a nice job, but I'm not rich. I work really hard. I've worked really hard to get where I am, and it feels like you don't have anything at the end of it. And then you're looking at, like I've just said, you're looking at the world, you're thinking, oh my God, there's going to be wars coming soon, maybe. The country's in debt. AI is going to be kicking in next year. Yorick Brown 355, hi, Professor. I wish I was a professor, but I'm not, but thank you anyway. I'll go with that. I'm definitely not a professor, by the way, but thank you. So yeah, it can be too much. And the pressures of life, the pressures that people have, and everyone's got different perspectives, haven't they? Everyone is suffering. Life is suffering, in my opinion, which can sound a bit grim, but it is. But growth can be found through the suffering. If you're wise enough, if you're smart enough, if you use it effectively. Otherwise, some people just suffer, they don't grow, they just get stuck where they are, like a low vibrational kind of lifestyle, which is not good, not healthy, as we say. Okay, so moving on. So I'm going to now describe, referring to my notes again as a pointer, to keep the structure of the video, of course. I'm going to be describing how people subtly or directly offer their pain onto you. So what do people do? Think about it. What happens when you're at work, for example? There's some people, they're not happy. They don't like their lives. They don't like themselves. And what do? They're rude. Some people are really rude, not very nice. And especially if you're a good person, if you're a genuinely nice, kind person, people will take, I say this all the time, man, but they do, people will take your kindness for a weakness. I'll say it again. People will take your kindness for a weakness, and they'll be insecure and they don't like themselves. They're bitter, they're angry, they're pissed off, and they'll just offload it on people. It spills out in the behavior, it spills out in the communication, doesn't it? And if you're an empathetic person, let's say you're a kind person, you're going to take these energies on, aren't you? Sometimes consciously or unconsciously. And that can weigh on you, can't it? That can happen in family dynamics, friend dynamics, work dynamics, whichever kind of dynamics you want to refer to. But basically, you're absorbing all the pain then. You're absorbing it all. You're carrying that weight. Which can be challenging, can't it? Hi to Yorick, by the way, as well. Hello, Yorick. Nice to have you with us, by the way. I really appreciate it. So yeah, that's how people can offload the pain onto others. And it can be a heavy burden to carry. And then the next thing I'm going to move on to is being that go-to person, being that go-to friend. And as they say, a problem shared is a problem halved. But if you're the person that everybody comes to, you're that person, you're strong, you're solid, you've got it all together, and people come to you to because they feel like they could be safe with you, which is really positive, it's really good that they can confide in you, and you're that go-to person, you're that go-to friend. That means it's a good thing, obviously. If you're that go-to friend, then yeah, that's a good thing in a way, but it can be overbearing. It can be too much. It can be too much because you're just absorbing if it's just one-sided all the way, you're absorbing other people's pain, you're absorbing other people's problems. And that's okay for a while, but if you do too much of that, you're going to break, you're going to burn out. And that's my point. That's the point I'm trying to make. So I'm going to move on. Another one is feeling other people's emotions more than your own. Has anyone ever done that? Has anyone here ever felt other people's emotions more than their own? I'll ask the question again and I'll move on. Sorry, one moment. Sorry, get the question. Has anyone felt other people's emotions more than their own? Sandra's saying, no, I don't know, LOL. Do you? Or not? Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about there, but I'm an empath. I feel sometimes. So it's really difficult sometimes. Yes, it can be, especially if you're an empathetic, I probably pronounced that wrong, sorry, empathetic person, empathic person, let's say. Yes, you can feel other people's emotions more than your own. Have you ever noticed if somebody walks into a room, they don't say a single word, but they're really angry? Have you ever noticed this? They don't need to say a word. You don't even just look at the body language. You can feel the energy sometimes. I don't know if anyone's experienced this. You can tell when someone's angry. You can feel the anger. Yeah. And that can be overbearing. Or someone who's really negative. They've got bad. Sometimes actually it can go the other way. Some people can be really uplifting and positive, and you're around them, you feel really good about them. It feels really positive. Some of the people on the other end, they're great, like radiating positivity. But some people are really, they're stuck, they're unhappy. And that's what can happen. Right, let me just look at the... I do mostly show my lop rabbit if you follow me and watch what... Right, okay, Yorick, you're one of them lads. All right. I don't know what that means. We'll go with it, lad. We'll go with it. So anyway, I'm going to carry on. It's all good. It's all fun. Whatever. So another thing is trying to fix everything. Has anyone ever trying to fix... Sorry, Sandra. I feel the energy all the time. I'm learning to get better with dealing with it. I try and recognize it. It's not my energy to carry. Yeah, it's not your burden to carry. It's their burden. Whoever's been especially if they're being negative and they're being... No, I meant real rabbit. I have a pet rabbit and I don't know what you mean. Well, all right, sorry, you got a real rabbit. Okay, cool. Back to what Sandra's saying. Cool, that's positive. That could be a good thing. Yeah, it can be a hard thing to carry, can't it? Other people's negative energy. It can be difficult to deal with. Yeah, it can be difficult to deal with, definitely. And you've got to, I don't know, you've got to protect yourself as well. You don't want to get sucked in. You've got to be, let's say, neutral to it all. You've got to be neutral to it all, I suppose. Yeah. I'm going to carry on anyway. So now I'm going to talk about, has anyone tried to fix everything? Has anyone tried to fix everything? Everyone's trying to, like being the rescuer kind of thing, isn't it? In situations, trying to solve everyone's problems, trying to be, you know, getting too involved. You could maybe sometimes unconsciously get, they poop little round balls a lot. Yeah, rabbits poop. Sorry, I'm going off track. Yeah. Anyone trying to fix everything? Yeah. So you're trying to solve everyone's problems then, aren't you? And then you're basically going to start absorbing other... If you're trying to fix everyone's problems, you're getting too involved in other people's lives, it isn't going to be good. It's going to detract away from your own peace, potentially, if you're trying to fix everyone's problems. And a lot of the times, what some people do is they have a problem, they complain about it all the time, and they don't try and fix it themselves, and then they expect someone else to do it for them. And you shouldn't be dealing with that shit, in my opinion, when it's like that. It's okay to support them. It's okay to be there for them, especially if it's a family member or whatever, someone that you love. But it's also like you need to, like, that's their problem. They need to sort that themselves. And some people will complain, and then they'll complain some more, and then they'll do nothing about it. They won't even try and fix anything. They just like to complain. Some people are addicted to that. We all complain, of course. I complain sometimes. But yeah, that's what can happen. So I'm going to move on. So I'm going to now talk about how a lot of people are locked into fear. They're ego-driven. So a lot of people are locked into that fear, aren't they? You see it in dynamics at the workplace. Some people just love confrontation. They love arguments. Their ego loves it. They get like an adrenaline rush from all these arguments. That's what they enjoy. They love being there. It's chaos. It's low vibrational though. It's not good. And that's where the media can come in as well. Like I said before, you watch the news, it's all fear, isn't it? War, economic upheaval, blah, blah, blah. It's all to keep us subdued. It's all to keep us in that low vibrational state. It's all to control us. So Sandra did ask how to keep neutral. And I suppose to keep neutral in situations, if there's some chaos in a group that's close to you, it could be family members arguing, and it's nothing to do with you. It's just basically don't become emotionally attached. It's not getting too angry. It's taking a step back and it's just observing in a neutral manner, in a calm manner. Like you're aware of it, but you're not pissed off. You're not pissed off. You're looking at the news and there's a war going on and it could be really sad, but you're just neutral to it. It doesn't mean you're being cold and horrible. It's just like, I'm protecting myself here. I'm not going to get emotionally dragged into this shit. And if you get emotionally dragged into it, you get angry at somebody, someone could be really rude to you, of course, and it could be completely justified to become angry. But it's good just to be neutral. Don't get sucked in emotionally. That's how you win. And then you can hopefully focus on yourself, focus on what you want to do, focus on what you want to be, instead of being sucked into these low vibrational energies, this bullshit that goes on. It's not good because it's like a trap. you end up stuck. Some people are just stuck in chaos, aren't they? They're just stuck in complaining. They're stuck in arguing with people. That it's not a good thing. It's not a good place to be, in my opinion. This is how you raise your consciousness, isn't it? It's raise your energy, rise above the chaos, rise above the bullshit. Focus on yourself, focus on being better, focus on being healthier. I know I'm preaching on now, but that's my aim as well. Do I get this perfect? Do I get this right all the time? No, I don't. I don't get this right all the time. So yeah, but it's all a learning process, I suppose. But I think this world is designed, isn't it, in a way, to suck us in, to suck us into this negativity. Media, if you watch the news, it's just constant. I think a lot of people already know this now, but I think people are waking up to it more and more. Is that it's just they're writing the narrative, and fear is just how you control the populace, isn't it? They control us by fear, and it's just by being neutral. You're just taking a step back. You're not as easy to control then, in my opinion. So I'm going to move on. Okay, next. So how are you going to observe this in the workplace? I'm going to talk about how you're going to observe this in the workplace, or maybe even in family dynamics. I see it at my workplace, and I see people one moment I can have a sip of coffee, espresso, double espresso. I'm going to read my comments, sorry. One moment. I'm just stopping my video a second. So what we're saying here, I'm going off track a little bit. So you've tried to be the rescuer all your life, Sander. Yeah, so have I. Tried to sort other people's shit out. Doesn't always work out. And Yorick Brown is talking about his rabbit. Round poo balls, that's what they do though, it's true. I think animals though, they can be really good because you've got to care for them, haven't you? And look after them. I think it's a really good thing, really positive thing. It can help you feel calm and things like that as well. Einstein. So Yorick's rabbit is called Einstein. So he's smart as well, like a fitting name. Yeah, Einstein was a genius, man. Einstein was a genius, absolutely ahead of his time. Quite inspirational as well. I'm just reading the comments. The food's cheap. They like lettuce and carrots and they're cute. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just going through the comments at the moment. Hello, America as well. Good to have you in the chat. Yorick Brown said he might do a live today to show him. Go for it, Yorick. Do it. Do it. Just do it. Go with it. Obviously, I'm not an expert at this myself, but just have like a structure. I've got notes as a structure to keep the conversation going if I need to. I think that helps with the lives. Personally, that helps for me, but everyone does them differently. But I'd say go for it, man. Go for it. Do the live. Yorick Brown, I like cappuccino. I love a cappuccino as well. I'm on espresso today because I'm fasting because the milk breaks the fast. But do I prefer cappuccino all day long? Definitely. So I'm just going to down this one moment and then I'll get back on with the video. I prefer doing lives as well compared to editing the videos, if I'm honest, because I just feel like I'm more myself, more genuine, and I prefer the free-flowing kind of conversation. But, of course, everyone's different. So where was I? So how do you observe this in the workplace? Sometimes you've got chaos going on in families or in the workplace, let's say, and people are just arguing. There's always an enemy. There's always a bad guy in the story. There's always some bullshit going on. I'll answer that comment in a moment. That can happen. So you're observing. Yeah, sorry, I'm going off track a little bit today. So you're observing it in the workplace. How do you observe it in the workplace? It's just to watch. I watch what people do. It's really interesting. I just sit a lot of this. Obviously, I'm speaking a lot now, and you think that that's me all the time. I'm not like this. This is me genuinely speaking, of course. However, in the workplace or whatever, I'm not always the one speaking. I observe a lot of the time. I'll just sit there quietly and watch what people do, and it's interesting. And I sit back and watch. And I watch all the games that go on, the politics that go on. There's always politics going on, especially in the workplace. People playing games, people act out. Sometimes what people do is they'll be arseholes, they'll be rude, they'll be taking the piss, whatever they're doing. And then when they get called out on it, they play victim. They play victim, so it's not their fault. And they blame others. So, and it's just interesting to watch. But if you're, sometimes I'm involved in these teams. I'm with these teams that are doing these kind of things, and I just sit back and I just watch and I observe. And I just don't think, I decide to myself, I'm not even going to get mad at this because this is crazy. This is stupidity. This is like children playing up, basically. So that's how I deal with that personally. So that's good. I'm just going to go back to the notes again. I'll just try and keep up with it. Coffee can stain your teeth. You're right, Yorick. My teeth are a little bit stained, if I'm honest. I need to sort that out. That's from not brushing my teeth properly when I was younger. I brush them really well now, though, but it doesn't show very well. But it can stain your teeth, absolutely. But if you brush them enough, it does help, obviously. Beetroot juice helps you sleep. Apparently, it helps deep sleep. I didn't know that. Good point. It's a new one for me. Magnesium is this. Magnesium glycinate. There's 3 different types of magnesium, I think. There's magnesium citrate, magnesium glycinate, and there's another one, I forgot the name of it, but I think magnesium glycinate helps with sleep, helps with, helps you to recover, basically, obviously, because you're resting. Helps with energy as well, fatigue, etc. Magnesium's really good. A lot of people are deficient on it as well. Vitamin D, they coincide together, I think. They work well together, basically. Oh, I subscribed to you, Professor, also. Yorick, thank you very much for subscribing. I massively appreciate it. Thanks for calling me Professor. But thank you for subscribing. It means a lot. It really does. And I appreciate you. Thank you. I'll check your channel out later on as well, Yorick, by the way, when I get the chance. I'll check your channel out. I'm going to write your name down, actually, because then I can find you. One moment. So it's you. I'm just writing it down. One moment. Because otherwise I'll forget. Yorick Brown. And it is 355. And there's spaces in between, isn't there? Right. I'll have a look later on. Thank you, Yorick. Right. Okay, so I'm going to get back on track. So, referring to my notes again. Sorry, this camera's all over the place, but it's okay. It's all good. It's a live. This is a live vlog. It's not going to be perfect. It's not meant to be perfect. But I think it's also good just to be genuine, to be real, as imperfect as that is. That's what I'm trying to convey as well. I don't want to be a hypocrite or any of those things. I don't want to portray myself to be perfect, because I'm definitely not. And I think that's the best way to go. What is your name? I keep calling you Professor. My name's Brad. My channel's called Inspirational Ambivert, but my name's Brad. So, how you recenter yourself, focus on my own energy, not to become drained by it. Yeah. It's just recentering yourself. So you've got all this chaos going around. You've got the shit in the world going on. just to recenter yourself, just to just be stoic, to be quiet in your own energy, just to think about yourself. You can't control the outside world. You can't control what other people are going to say. You can't control what other people are going to do. You just can't. If people have baseline behaviours as well. So if someone's an angry arsehole, that's who they are sometimes, and that's where they are, and most of the time they're going to be operating like that. A lot of the time they're not even conscious of it. They're just stuck in that mode or whatever it is. And you can't, even if you're a decent person, you're thinking, why is that person being an arsehole? Why don't they just be nice? What the F is wrong with them? For example, you could be completely justified in what you're saying, but that person's not going to be like that. They don't see it like that. They might be a good person in their own story, in their own heads, but maybe they're not, and they're not going to change for you, no matter how justified you might feel. So you just got to let them be like that. Leave them to it. And it's just being recentered in yourself. Take a step back if you can. If you can't take a step back physically, you can get out of the room, for example. You take a step back mentally, maybe go for a walk, or just be in your own energy, being yourself, and accept people for who they are, accept good and bad. I think that really does help. So Yorick saying, Brad, you're a cool guy, bro. Thank you. Need motivational streams too. Too much sleeping and nonsense streams nowadays. Yeah, there is. I agree. I've looked at the other streams as well. I sometimes flick through them when I'm in free time. I think, and there's nothing wrong. Sometimes a bit of nonsense is good, isn't it? Because it's just mindless silliness. And sometimes that's not a bad thing. It's like watching a movie that's funny, that's stupid, that you don't even need to think through. Sometimes that's a good thing, but there's a lot of mindless stupidity, isn't there? I agree. And I don't want to be that person. I want to speak as intelligently as I can, as meaningfully as I can, but in a relaxed manner at the same time. That's what I'm trying to do. But there's a lot of channels out there that's just stupid shit, basically. And each their own. Everyone's different, and sometimes that's needed in life. A bit of silliness is good sometimes. You don't have to be serious all the time. You don't have to be deep all the time. But I like to just at least communicate something that's positive, that's thought out to an extent. So yeah, I'll keep trying to do that. Thanks. User 101XY saying hello. Hello, user 101XY. And nice to have you with us. Yorick saying, I love the rain. Most people don't, but I see the beauty in the rain. It's calming and it cleans the earth. Yeah, I bang on, Yorick. I like the rain as well. Without it, we're doomed, aren't we, really? In England as well, it's where I'm from, obviously. We have a lot of rain. But I like it sometimes more than it being really hot. It's like 30 degrees, 40 degrees, which is not often over here. But I find that sun can drain you sometimes. It's balance, I suppose. But without the rain, we're doomed. Yep, I agree. I'm from England too, Brad. Yorick. All right, cool. So you know, you definitely know. From London, wow. How's London? I'm from Lancashire, basically northwest England, not far from Manchester. London's a huge place, isn't it? Absolutely huge. How can I use rain to comprehend a heartbreaking situation currently? Elaborate, user 101XY. How can I use rain to comprehend a heartbreaking situation? I don't know how you'd use rain in that situation to comprehend that. I'm really sorry about your situation. I don't know what that situation is, but if you want to elaborate, you can, and I'll try and help you the best I can. In the meantime, I'm going to continue with this, but then I'll obviously refer to the comments that have been made. And Yorick likes to play Rihanna's Rain song when it rains, or classic song Raindrops When Falling on My Head. Ah, cool. Using music therapy in a way, I suppose, kind of. Right. Sorry, I'm just referring to my notes again to keep this live going as best I can. So it's important to recenter yourself. really important to recenter yourself, not get dragged into all this drama, mate, not get too emotionally mad at it, get angry at it. I've been in situations before when people have been rude to me and then I've not slept that night. And have you ever had that situation where someone's really rude to you, they're out of order, and I've not said anything back? I've just been like shocked. And then after I thought, I wish I'd have said this, I wish I'd have said that. And then I go home and then I just like think about it. And my ego's upset. I'm upset. I'm pissed off. And I don't sleep that night. And I think of things in my head. And that's not good, is it? You don't end up like that. It's good to just water off a duck's back, mate. Just let it go. Let it go. It's easier said than done sometimes, though. So I'm just saying, yes, I ruminate over it and then I eat them for breakfast the next time. Yep, that's a good one as well. I go with 3 strikes usually. First time you're going to catch me out. If you're rude to me for no reason, you're going to catch me out more than likely, especially if I don't know you and I'm not expecting it. Second time you catch me out, I've noticed a pattern. Oh, second time they've done this. And then I'm ready for the third time. I plan what I'm going to say the next time, the third time. So 3 strikes. And a lot of the time, once I've planned it in my head, what I'm going to respond with to a rude person, for example, they don't come back third time because my energy's like ready. I'm good to go. I'm watching, I'm waiting. And then it never comes for whatever reason. But if they do go for 3 strikes, I've got the response. I think that's a good way to be as well, because then you've got a mindful response. You thought, you planned it in your head. So if someone catches you off guard and they're rude to you, just accept it, really, I think, because you weren't ready for it. And if you do have a knee-jerk reaction, a lot of time, your knee-jerk reaction could be, you could say something really horrible, really terrible, especially if you're in the workplace. You could get into trouble for your response to someone being rude to you. So I think it's good to just say nothing sometimes. And then you can think of a mindful response for the next time. I think that's a really good way of doing it. Do you think Jesus felt everyone's emotion? Was he an empath? I think he was. I didn't know him, obviously, but from the stories of him, I think he was definitely an empath. Yes. And charismatic as well. I think he was, yeah. I think he was a prophet, or whatever you want to refer to him as. Yep. And yeah, I think he had a hard life, though. I think he had a hard life. But he did well. Did very well, actually. Anyway, I'm going to move on. So I've got a quote here. It's like I've been picking up bags that weren't mine and then wondering why my back hurts. So I'll say it again. It's like I've been picking up bags that weren't mine and then wondering why my back hurts. So if you're picking up the pieces of everyone else's problems, your back, you're going to have a sore back. It's not going to be good. It's going to weigh you down. And you might be strong and you might be able to carry that weight for a while, but eventually your back's going to break. And then who's going to look after you then? You've got to look after yourself. Sometimes as well in life, no one's going to come and save you. Or no one. You've got to save yourself sometimes. That might sound selfish, but I think it's also being self-full, isn't it? You've got to be self-full. If you're broken down and you're too weak, you're not going to be able to help anyone else, are you? So you've got to look after yourself. I think it's really important. It's self-love, isn't it? Self-love, self-full, that kind of thing. So it's then, I'm moving on. So it's giving up the drama from the things, energies. So giving up that shit, letting it go. Let people do the bullshit. Let people be dramatic. Let people be negative. Just observe. But don't feel it. Try not to feel it. Try not to get angry at it. Easier said than done, of course. And if you're fighting something, imagine someone's being an asshole and you want to fight it. You want to get them back. Once you're in that mode of thinking, I want to get you back. I want to get, I'm angry, for example. And then therefore you are feeling it. And if you are feeling it, you're then in that trap. You're sucked in. They've got you. So it's just being neutral. Easier said than done, of course. You're not always going to get this right. I don't always get it right. So anyway, that's that part done. I'm just gonna have a sip of tea. One moment, please. So let's have a look at the quotes. Nice mug, thank you. Yeah, thanks, Sandy. It's a prototype. It's Inspirational Ambivert, which is my channel. And if you can see just about there, that's the sun. Basically, there's a moon underneath, and then the eye in the middle, and then if you look, it kind of look like it's the sun covering the eye, kind of thing. That's my what's it called? My logo. And this, from my interpretation, the sun represents the extroverts, the moon represents the introvert. So it's a mixture of those two things. So that's what an ambivert is. That's what my channel name is, Inspirational Ambivert. So the moon represents the introvert in me, which is probably more stronger than the extrovert, believe it or not, for me personally. But I'm a combination of those two things. And then the eye is meant to, it's meant to represent being awake, being aware, developing consciousness, coming away from the low vibrational energies of the world that we're in, the 3D world that we're in. It's opening your mind up to becoming into a more 5-dimensional thinking, coming away from all that fear and negativity. That's what I'm trying to bring awareness in myself and hopefully in others, and that'll be developed not just through what I'm saying, from what I'm talking about. It'll be achieved through people communicating. It'll be achieved through the community that I'm building, and then the communication that they're going to give. They're going to give other perspectives. I'm going to give my perspectives, but it's like a collective thought process. Really, I don't have all the answers, and I think that's going to help develop awareness. And for those people that are open to it, that's what this is going to develop, and that's a win. That's a win, isn't it? Logo is always important for a channel, Yorick. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I agree. How long, Yorick? Quick question: how long have you been making videos for, and how are you finding it? If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to answer this, by the way. It's good to get someone else's perspective. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy. And I think you've got to enjoy it, really. Because for me personally, everyone does it differently. I put time, energy, and money into this, really. I put time, energy, and money into it, and I try to do the best I can. But I'm learning as I go along, really. You're not going to get it perfect. But the best, like they say, the best way to learn is to just do and have the confidence to put your foot forward. So since 2012, wow, that's a long time, mate. That's a long time. I bet things have changed a lot since then as well. That's 13 years, isn't it, approximately? I'll check out your channel later on, by the way, when I get the chance. But I'm going to carry on with the next thing. So referring to my notes again, mostly gaming videos. All right, cool. I'll have to check that out. Right, so next one. The pressure of being the strong one. So referring to my notes, of course. So I'm going to talk about how men especially are raised to carry the emotional weight without showing strain. So a lot of the time, guys are expected to not show emotion, are we? We're allowed to be angry, I suppose. And that's about it. And you imagine that you're at school and you're young and somebody picks on you, right? Somebody picks on you. And if you cry and you show weakness, the logic is that you're going to end up getting bullied more. But if you show anger and you fight them back, then that's the best way to go. That's what they say. I'm not saying that's the best way to go, but that's what they say is the best way to go. Sometimes in society, you show anger, you fight back, and then that's going to prevent you getting bullied more as a kid or as an adult. And there's some truth in that, of course. But that just shows that as a man, it's not accepted. Even from a young age, you're taught, don't be emotional, don't be crying, don't be a bitch. fucking you can get angry though, off you go, you can get angry, you're allowed to do that. And that's all good and well. But I think what a lot of the time is, as a man, sorry, I'm trying to get the words out as best I can, that's not always going to serve you. It's okay to get upset. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay to be sensitive sometimes. I'm not saying being an emotional wreck or anything like that at all. If people are like that, that's fine or whatever. But I think it's good to express your emotions, be emotionally intelligent, say, this is pissing me off, this is upset me, this is making me feel sad. Express those things, and then you're getting those emotions out, aren't you? You're getting those issues out, and then you can deal with those things. A lot of the time as men, we don't do that. We're expected to be the strong one. We're expected to be stoic all the time, especially in a family dynamic. Society won't allow men to, you just got to be tough, soak it up, buttercup kind of thinking. And I think sometimes that's a good thing, but too much of that's bad. And that's probably why most men, who commits more suicides? Men by a long, long way. What's the biggest killer of men under 50? It's suicide. It's suicide. Sorry, that's a bit grim. But that's truth. That's the extreme. That's where it can end up. That's where it can bloody end up. And a lot of the time now, as men, we're allowed to be angry, okay? So we've got that emotion. That's the one emotion we're allowed. What's happening as well in society is we're not even allowed that anymore, because they're saying we're being abusive or whatever. I'm not saying act out the anger, because that's different, isn't it? If you're acting out the anger, it means you're going to be hitting someone, or you're going to be swearing at someone, you're going to be nasty to someone. That's bad. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's not, but it's okay to vent sometimes and be angry. You might not be venting it at a person. You're just expressing your emotions. You're pissed off. This is really bothering me. This is really pissing me off. Yada, yada, yada. I don't think that's such a bad thing, but I think a lot of times society, men are even told not allowed to do that, which is sad. Yeah, so Sandra's saying that's really sad. Yeah, it is. It's not good. It's not healthy. I don't know if women expect. Sorry, I'm coming from a man's perspective here. So a woman, for example, could be a single mum. So sorry, I'm trying. It's hard to explain this really. So Yorick's asking, can I be a moderator, Brad, in case trolls with rude comments come? Yes, of course. I will. Sorry, one moment. Can I be a moderator, Brad? Yeah, you can be a moderator, of course. You've been really respectful. You seem like a really good person. And yes, you can be a moderator. I have to do it after this video, though. But thank you. Thanks for asking. I appreciate that. Sorry, just having a drink. One moment. Obviously, with this live thing as well, some people do this more naturally, but I'm in a room on my own talking, so it's hard keeping that conversation going. Some people find it more natural at this. I'm not. I'm believe it or not, I'm quite introvert. A lot of me is introverted, so I'm not the kind of guy that always speaks all the time, even though I'm contradicting that by speaking in a room on my own now, but this is not natural to me. Anyway, let's carry on. So yeah, men are expected to just carry on, aren't they? Keep going. And I think, do women do this as well is the question. Do women do this sometimes when they're a parent, single parent with 2 kids, 3 kids sometimes? Are they allowed to show emotional strain, especially if they're on their own, just with 3 kids? Imagine 3 kids under the age of 6 or whatever. The children aren't going to understand that either. They're just very needy. A woman could just be carrying on all the time and having to carry that strain all the time. So I'm not saying it's just men that have these problems. Women have different problems, of course. I'm not trying to discredit that. But I'm going to move on. Sorry, I'm just going to... Yorick saying, I love toast with eggs and oats as breakfast. How about you guys? Oh, I love eggs. I think eggs alone are the most perfect food, closest to perfect. If you're going to have one food that's closest to perfect, I think eggs are at the top because of the nutritional benefits. Think about that egg as well. It's giving life to something, isn't it? It gives chickens, obviously, but eggs are amazing. Oats. I love granola, mate. I love granola with loads of fruit and honey. Amazing. It's yummy. Right. So next, I'm going to move on, referring to my notes again. So I'm going to be reflecting on how I've been strong in your family, work, or online presence. Yeah, it can feel lonely, can't it? If you're just carrying all that strain on your own, it can feel lonely, especially if you've got no one to confide in yourself. Some people are just expected to be the strong one that absorbs all the shit. They're the rock of the family or the rock of wherever it is. Sorry, there's a bit of hoovering going on in the background. You're expected to be the strong one and keep going, and it can be difficult. Yep, of course. Has anyone experienced that, where they're expected to be the rock, they're expected to be the strong one, and they feel like they're alone? Men are supposed to be rocks, though. Yeah, they are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Because otherwise we're going to wilt and we're just going to break down. Yeah, we're expected to be. And yeah, we are. We're expected to be. And I think that's good a lot of the time. However, I do think sometimes those rocks do need some support sometimes. They do need to feel like they're supported sometimes and listened to sometimes. I think if you go too extreme and not complain about things, yep, don't complain. Just get on with it. And I think a lot of time in life, that's a good thing. That's being stoic. That's showing grit. That's showing determination. That's showing perseverance. And Sanders saying, but women can need rocks too. They can be emotional rocks as well. Absolutely. And ideally, I've got a partner who's really supportive of me. It's happy days. I'm really in a really good place. I've not always been in this place, but I like to be the rock, I like to be the emotionally stable one. And I've got a partner who's like that as well. And she listens to my problems and I listen to her problems. You work together. That's better. So you're interdependent then, aren't you? So there's dependency. You're depending on someone else to help you, which is kind of a weak position to be in to an extent. Then there's independent. So you're independent, you're strong on your own, which is a good place to be. But being interdependent, I think, is the ideal. So you're independent, but you depend on each other at the same time. So you lift each other up, help each other out. So what? I'm just looking at the notes. I mean, men are rocks. What are women? Paper or scissors? Yeah, yeah, funny. Anyway, I'm going to carry on. So I'm going to ask you a question now. What happens when the strong one breaks? Or imagine if the strong one breaks down. Imagine years and years of the strong one always keeping everything together. Everyone relies on them all the time, and then they break. This can happen. Think about mental breakdown. People can have mental breakdowns, can't they? What's it? Oh, I forgot the word. Sorry, I forgot what I was going to say then. It's what's that thing when someone breaks down and they lose it completely? And it's stress induced, and I forgot the name of it. Paper might be suiting since signing name on marriage certificate. Kids or scissors because they cut you down. Yeah, kids will do, won't they? They're very needy. They want everything. That's what children are. That's the way they are because they're so dependent on you. It's not death of 1,000 cuts as well, potentially. Death of 1,000 cuts, mate. So what can happen when the strong one breaks down? They have a mental breakdown. It's stress induced. I forgot what the term is. I'm really sorry. It's just not there. But yeah, people can just break down completely. I remember a guy who used to live in the town I grew up in, and he was older, and you'd see him walking around on his own, and he looked like he was homeless. And he'd lost his marbles, let's say. And I later found out that he used to have a business, a scrap metal business. He was very successful. in his own demographic, let's say. He had a nice big house, he had kids and everything. And then one day they found him. He was a strong person or whatever, a successful businessman, let's say. And he ended up, they found him next to a paddle pool, just laid on the floor, like completely broken down. And then he lost his mind. The stress got to him. And he lost his house, he lost his business, he lost his family. He was wandering around the streets on his own, looking homeless. So he's gone from this successful businessman, strong rock kind of person, let's say. I don't know the full story, but he had a mental breakdown. A nervous breakdown because of the stress, because of the pressure. And he was older, a bit older. It happened in his 50s, I think. Had a nervous breakdown because he's not dealt with everything. He's expected to be the rock all the time. He's providing. He's keeping the family together in the best way he can, I suppose. And he's had a nervous breakdown. Thank you, nervous breakdown. That's the one. That's what I was missing then. And then they just break down. And guess what? The family just dissipated. The business dissipated. The house was gone. And some people have a nervous breakdown, and then that's the end game, isn't it? Potentially, if someone does it, some people come back from nervous breakdowns, of course, but some people don't. And that's when they say stress is one of the biggest killers, because it is. What does stress do? Stress gives you high cortisol levels. And what does high cortisol levels mean? It means the other happy hormones can't get in because the cortisol levels are so high, and basically, stress can create inflammation in the body. So that's inflammation in the body. So all this stress, it's not dealt with. This is what my point is. It's good to be the rock. Men need to be stoic. Men need to have they have to have the determination. They need to be all these things. And I absolutely agree with all these things. But it's having a bit of emotional intelligence and just letting that pressure out a little bit along the way. That's my point. I'm not saying being an emotional wreck. I'm not saying being weak or anything like that, because that's no good for anyone. You need to be strong in this life, in my opinion. But I think to be truly strong, you need to have emotional intelligence. Absolutely. And as a man, you need to express those things. Otherwise, you can have a nervous breakdown potentially. And then you're not good to anyone. You're not good to yourself. You're done. You're finished. You're cooked. See you later. And is anyone going to look at the other guy that was on his own, that was on about? He was walking around the streets. He used to have a business. He used to have a nice family. He used to have a nice house. He had a nervous breakdown. Game over, mate. He was walking around the streets, looking homeless, smelling, not good. Was anyone looking after him? No, they weren't. No one gave a shit about him. No one gave a shit about him. Was anyone looking after him when he needed he helped everyone out all his life, got to 55, had a nervous breakdown. Was anyone looking after him? Where the fuck? Sorry to swear. They weren't looking after him. He was see you later, gone. He was useful. He had a business. He had money. He had a family. They were all loving it. But as soon as he needed their help, were they helping him out? No, they weren't. That's what can happen for a lot of men, obviously. Women have different issues as well, of course. I'm not discrediting those things. What's Yorick saying? Bad vibes forever. Hello, bad vibes forever. I've not seen you for a while, sorry. Good to see you. It's good to see you again. I think I subscribed to your channel. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was hard to find you, actually, to be honest, but I think I found your channel and I think that I subscribed. I'm sorry if I didn't, but I did try. So anyway, Yorick saying paper might not be strong as rock, but like women, their word is strong on paper, and paper can motivate with words. Wow, that's very deep. Words can be very powerful as well. Absolutely, massively. What we say can be massively powerful. Bad Vibes Fred's going to check. Okay, cool. Right, I'm going to carry on. So next thing I'm going to move on to is signs you're carrying too much. I kind of covered it to an extent, but I'm going to carry on with it. So signs of carrying too much in myself. Sorry, I'm trying to get the words out, guys. I'm referring to my notes, but a lot of it I'm just doing it freestyle. Signs of, if I'm carrying too much stress myself, what can happen is, one of the signs is, you think it's crazy. Imagine you've been working all day, you come home and you think, oh shit, I forgot something. I forgot to do this, I forgot to do that. And to me, that's a sign of stress, because you're thinking about work when you're not at work, and you're thinking about that you've missed something. And that's a sign of stress, in my opinion. That can happen. Sometimes as well, I don't sleep well because I'm worried. I'm replaying scenarios in my head of conversations or situations that have happened during the day, and I can't sleep, and I'm a bit irritated and I'm tired. Have you ever had that experience when you're really, really tired? You go to bed, you're absolutely knackered. You can't wait to get to bed. You can't wait to get to sleep, and then you can't even sleep. That's a sign of stress as well. And then just feeling really tired all the time. It's not a good feeling. That's a sign of stress. There's other signs of stress as well. And that's when I know I'm going too far. I've gone too deep. But it's being aware of those things and thinking, right, I need to take a step back now. I need to recharge, and then off you go again. So it's a marathon. Remember, this life, I suppose, it's a marathon, not a sprint, isn't it? It's a marathon, not a sprint. You've got to look after yourself, but keep going at the same time. I suppose it's getting the right balance, I suppose. So I'm moving on. I've already said that, feeling tired out even after rest. So you can have a really long sleep and you're still tired. I suppose that's a sign of age as well. So I'm 42 now. So yeah, I've not got the same energy as when I was 20. But I feel a lot better now that I'm older. I feel a lot more wiser. Thank God. So another one, I'm going to move on. So avoiding people because you feel drained. So you're avoiding people because you feel drained. So that can be a sign that you're carrying too much. So you don't even want to speak to people. You don't even want to be around them. You're peopled out. I get peopled out sometimes as well. I like being around people. I like listening to what people have to say. I like to communicate with people, but I do get burnt out by it all sometimes. And I just need to come away from it, basically. I'm reeling this off now, to be honest. Another one is numbness and emotional shutdown. Numbness and emotional shutdown. I suppose that can be apathy, can't it? Becoming apathetic. Apathy. That's when you've truly had enough. Like you don't give a shit anymore. Like you're done. Like you've gone beyond caring. I think that can be a sign of stress as well. I'll carry on. And losing track of your own needs, like you forget yourself, I suppose. That's not good. If you're forgetting your own needs, you're forgetting what you want. What do you want to do? What makes you feel good? Sanders saying, I get moral fatigue and detachment. Wow, that's a good one. Thank you for sharing. That's great. Sorry, Prowl555 says, why don't you take a break? That's a good point as well. Take a break. Take some time out. Find something. Find something that you love doing. It could be going for a walk. It could just be to switch off. It could be to watch some trash on TV, like a series or whatever. That's something that's mindless. Sometimes those things are really good. Just to switch off from everything. And that's a really good point. And sorry, go back to Sanders. You get moral fatigue and detachment. You become detached, yeah. But definitely take a break. And you see, sometimes it's hard because I struggle with it myself. I'm always on the go. I think I've got to do. I do about 50 hours a week in my job. I'm working in theatre, by the way, as a scrub nurse. I help surgeons with instruments, basically. So knee replacements, hip replacements, spinal surgeries, etc., etc. That's the kind of thing that I help with. Let's say I'm not a surgeon, of course, but I do help the surgeon, should I say, assist the surgeon to an extent. And then I do this in my spare time as well, which I choose to do. I'm not being victim. I'm not playing victim here, but I'm always on the go, and I sometimes forget to take a break. I feel like the pressure to always do. Prowl 555 50 hours. Damn, that sounds really stressful. Yeah, it can be. Is it self-inflicted to an extent? My contracted hours is 37.5, and I do overtime, because if I don't do the overtime, I can't do the things I like to do. That's why I do extra. I feel the pressure. If I don't do it extra, I don't have the extra income. I just have, that's why I do it. Is it my choice? Yeah, it is, but it can be stressful. It can burn you out as well. So yeah, like you said, it's finding that rest days, isn't it? And I know it sounds really simple, get some rest, which it is simple, of course, but we forget these simple things, don't we? As people, you get sucked into the rat race, especially here in England. I don't know about other countries. It's a rat race as well, always on the go. And it's just finding that me time. And I think some people struggle more than others. If people have got children or whatever, it can be really difficult to find that spare time. Especially if you're a single parent, it's going to be even harder, isn't it? Yeah, but it can be stressful. Yeah, of course it can. And there's that saying as well, pressure makes diamonds. A bit of pressure is good. You need a bit of pressure in life. It's good for you. But I think it's good to get the rest as well. Absolutely. But thank you for your contribution, Prowl555 and Sander. And of course, sorry, I forgot your name again now, Yorick Brown 355. Thank you for your contribution. It's really appreciated and very helpful as well. So I'm going to move on. So losing track of your own needs. So losing track of your own needs, your own wants, your own needs. Sometimes people can forget what they want and what they do. They're so used to helping others. Some people are sort of used to helping others, being the rock or whatever in the family, that they forget about their own wants. They forget about their own needs. And that means you're carrying too much potentially because you're not even looking after yourself in that situation. You're too busy looking after everyone else without looking after yourself. So please remember, take some me time. Be a little bit selfish. It's not being selfish, it's being self-full. So it's not being selfish, it's being self-full. I'm going to move on. God, I've been going an hour and 6 minutes now. So, Prowl555, I lost track of the people's names. What does that mean? Bad memory. You lost track of the people's names? I do sometimes, man. If that's what you mean, sorry. I'm trying to interpret what you've just said. I lose track of I forget people's names all the time, mate. Oh, bad. I lose my train of thought as well. I've been doing it on here. I suppose it could mean bad memory. I suppose it could do. But I think it's human as well. You can't remember everything. Especially now in the age of information that we're in, there's so much information. Yes, sound about bad English. Sorry, no, don't be sorry, Prowl555. I can understand. I can understand what you're saying. Obviously, as well, when you leave a message, if you write something, even if it's in the most perfect English ever, it's only a message. It's all written, isn't it? So it's easy to misinterpret written words, isn't it? If someone's saying it out loud to you, face to face, for example, it's easier to comprehend what the communication is. Sorry, I'm going on a bit. Sander B, don't worry, Prowl, I'm not English either. Where are you from, by the way, Prowl555, and where are you from, Sander? Question. In the meantime, I'm going to carry on with the video. Sorry, carry on with the content. Sander's from Croatia. Cool. Croatia's nice country. Next to Italy, isn't it? Next to Italy. I think is it the Adriatic Sea? And Prowl555 is from Southern Asia. Interesting. Wow, cool. It's nice to see other people from different parts of the world. It's really interesting. Really, it's cool. Southern Asia. I'm sorry, I don't know much about that. Forgive my ignorance. Sander's saying, yeah, Adriatic Sea, which is in between Italy and Croatia, isn't it? It's gorgeous, yes. The food's really good as well. Mediterranean diet, isn't it? Mediterranean food. Similar to Italian. And etc. There's other things as well, sorry. So I'm going to now move on. I'm going to carry on. with the, I'll refer to the communication later on, to the comments later on, but I'm going to carry on with my video. So how you're learning to let go. So I'll talk about boundaries I'm trying to set. So yeah, I do try and set boundaries. How do you set boundaries? I set boundaries with myself. Sometimes I go on YouTube, I look at AI and what it's going to be doing in the future. Is it interesting? Yes. Is it scary? Yes. It's crazy. AI is going to be a big thing in the next few years, in my opinion. I'm not going to go talk too much about that, but it's going to change the world, especially next year. But time will tell, of course. I'm not definitely right with that. Then I'll look at what's going on with other countries, Ukraine, Russia war, Israel, etc. And it's scary because it's war and it's suffering and it's not positive. Then I'll look at the financial situation that some countries are in. So England, for example, is going through some upheaval, etc., etc., etc. So all this is scary news, bad news. And then how do I set boundaries with myself? I think I'm going to stop watching that shit because it's just making me feel bad. I can't control it. It's scary. It's fear. So I set boundaries with myself thinking, right, I can't control all of that. I'm aware of it, but it's nothing to do with me, my own personal life. I've got to live my best life, really. I don't want to get too sucked into all the negativity. How do I set boundaries at work? Again, it's within my own self, isn't it? I can't control what other people do. I can't control what other people say. I have no influence over those things. But I can control with how I feel. So I try not to get too angry at other people. When people are misbehaving or they're being rude to me, I'll set boundaries. I'll say something, to protect myself, but be professional with it at the same time. But I don't want to get too angry about it. I don't want to be upset about it. Or if I do get upset, I'm going to be upset for a little bit of time, then I'm going to stop it. So that's setting boundaries within yourself because you control how you feel. Sometimes that's easier said than done, but you do control how you feel and how you react to situations. And you don't want to get sucked into the negativity and the bullshit because it's going to affect you. It's going to affect your energy. It's going to affect your life. Then you're vibrating at a low vibrational quality. You don't want to be there. You want to be at a higher vibrational quality. You want to be focusing on yourself, focusing on your heart center, let's say. I'm going a bit spiritual now, but that's better. Your consciousness level is higher then. Your energy level is higher. I'm concentrating on winning. I'm concentrating on doing. I'm sending out good vibes. I'm sending out good energy to the universe. That's where you want to be. You want to be winning. You want to be doing well. You want to be feeling good in yourself. And that means not getting too sucked into all the drama, not getting sucked into the news, sucked into other people's dramas. You don't want to be sucked into that shit. It's no good. You're not going to win anything. Play silly games, you get silly prizes, don't you? If you're going to play silly games, being low vibrational bullshit, you're not going to feel good. Doesn't end well. So, Proud 555. Anyone ever had, sorry, I'm going to go to you in a minute. Sorry, Yorick Brown 355 is saying, anyone ever had lucid dreams? Yes, I have. Wow, they're crazy. Yes. I've had dreams where I'm controlling, I'm flying and I'm controlling where I'm going and I'm aware of it. I love those kind of dreams, lucid dreams. That's how I'd explain that. Interesting topic, that one. Could be another video of that. Or maybe do a video of that for yourself. Maybe, just an idea. But yeah, I've had lucid dreams. I love dreams like that. I think they're really interesting. I've not had one for a long time though, if I'm honest. So Proud 555 is saying, true, like what can you doing different about the war? You've no power in those wars. It's not like Vladimir Putin's going to care about what Brad's saying here. You're not going to think, oh, okay then, Brad, I'll stop the war. Sorry about that. He's not going to give a shit about little old me in England. He's going to do it anyway. War is going to happen anyway. You can't control it, man. You just can't. You can't control the fact that your country might be struggling financially. You can do the best you can personally, but you can't really control a lot of it. You can't control the fact that AI is coming. AI is coming, man. It's already here and it's going to expand. Can you control it? Can you stop it? No. But you can control how you feel about it and not get too sucked up into it, basically. So let me carry on with it. Do you think we need, Sanders said, do you think we need toxic people? Yes, It sounds crazy. Do we need toxic people? Yeah, because they force us to grow. You might not appreciate toxic people. They do exist. Is everyone a little bit toxic at some point in their lives? Yes, we all are. Does people's shit stink? My shit stinks sometimes. Am I perfect? No. Have I been toxic to some extent at one point in my life? Absolutely, I have. I'm not perfect, and I don't think anyone is. But truly toxic people, let's say, that are really, really toxic, let's say, do we need them? Yeah, because I think they can help you you can use them as tools to grow. It can be painful though, and they can help you to. They can remind you who not to be. If you're seeing someone being toxic and not being a good person, and you look at them, you think that's not good, man. I don't want to be like that person. I think that's not a good way to be. That can help you to. That can influence you to be a better person potentially. So it's like the yin and yang thing, isn't it? The good and bad kind of thing. I think it's a necessary evil. Anyone got any thoughts on that? But that's my opinion on it. Yorick saying, how did you have the dream? Did you wake up middle night and went back to bed? Or lucid dreaming you're back onto now? Sometimes it can keep you awake all night if you suppose you've had a deep lucid dream. I just usually go back to sleep after I've had one of those, personally. And Yorick saying there are tricks to have lucid dreams. Yes, there are. There are tricks to it. I think there's things that you can put into place to have lucid dreams. It's an interesting topic, actually. I need to look into it more, though, to be able to communicate. I don't know too much about it right now. I have looked at it in the past, but I can't really communicate. I can't communicate too much about lucid dreams, to be honest. But it is interesting. I think, are you going to another world? Are you going to... Yeah, I think you are. Going down the spiritual road there, but I do think you are. I think you're going to another place. I think the spirit lifts up and goes into another world, another realm, but that's another deep conversation that I'm not going to talk about now. Lucid dreams, could do a stream about talk about lucid dreams? Yes, but I need to look into it more to be able to do that. Anyone keep a dream journal? Look at what they mean. Yes, in the past, I've written about what my dreams are and looked at dream interpretations. However, in my opinion, everyone has... You could dream about the same thing that I dreamt about, but our interpretations of them will be different, in my opinion. I think the dream journal can help. The dream journal can help, and looking at what they mean, it can help you understand yourself. And I think there's a lot of truth in that, and you can learn a lot about yourself with those things. But I also think that everyone's individual, and then they all have their own interpretations of dreams as well, if you get what I'm saying. But it can help you with your life, potentially. It can be a very good thing, it helps you to know yourself better, helps you to deal with your issues better. What colour are your eyes? My eyes are green. Looks like I've got blue-grey eyes. No, green eyes. If you can see. I know I've got the ring light in the background. That's the ring light. That's the light that's on me at the moment, by the way. The middle bit, the green. They look blue. No, honestly, they're green. They look a bit blue from this angle, though. Nice to have you with us, by the way, Mr. X. I'm going to carry on with my content anyway, sorry. So I'm going to talk about emphasizing that holding space for others, having space for others, helping other people out. I think it's important. I think it's a good thing. You should help other people out if you can. What goes around comes around as well. What you give out is coming back to you. I believe in that, in the karma, whatever, good karma and bad karma. But it doesn't mean you hold on to the pain. Don't hold on to it. Someone could be pouring the heart out to you, and they could be really upset, and it could be really sad, and you're there for them. And a problem shared is a problem halved. I'll say it again, a problem shared is a problem halved. I think it's a really good thing to do that, but then it's not taking it home with you. I see a lot of suffering in the place I work at sometimes, because I work as a scrub nurse. I work with people that are in pain. I come across people that are like 90 years old that are in a lot of pain, trust me. And I've seen some things that you think, oh my God, that person. When you're doing surgeries, you're helping to fix people, basically. You're part of a team helping to fix someone. And some of those people I come across, I think, oh my God, I feel so sorry for them. I really do. They've got a lot of comorbidities. They've got a lot of issues wrong with them. And they're really, trust me now, I've seen some bad things and they're suffering. And I feel for them. I genuinely do feel for them, but I've got to protect myself because I've got to do this every day. I've got to turn up for this every day, mate. I'm coming around, I'm seeing suffering quite a lot. And I feel the pain, but I don't want to feel the pain too much. To get the happy medium. Because if you take on other people's pain all the time, it's a very heavy burden to carry. It's going to break down. You're going to break down. So it's feeling the pain, but then letting it go. And it might sound a bit cold, but you've got to. I think you've got to in life. Otherwise, you're just going to break down. That's my thoughts on that. Mr. X, thanks, man. I'll subscribe and like. Thank you, Mr. X, for subscribing and liking. It means you don't understand. You might not understand how much that means. That means so much. I really do appreciate that. Mr. X, my God, beautiful eyes. Can I have them for a day? Thanks, Mr. X. I appreciate that. Sandra, are you from the States, from America? I don't know. I think Sandra's from Croatia, I think. Sandra saying, Mr. X, I want those eyes too, so I can put makeup on them. Right, whatever, yeah. I don't think Brad would prefer having makeup on his eyes, and the stream might not have got a serious tone then. God, yeah. I think I'd look a bit like a clown. Maybe it'd be funny for some people. God. That Prowl 555, that sounds bad. Yes, I agree. It sounds awful. Each their own. Some people like doing that kind of shit, but not for me, mate. But yeah, funny. Anyway, I'm going to carry on. So I'm going to share some things that actually help to decompress. Being in nature. I find, like, obviously this is an obvious one, isn't it? But when you walk in nature, I'm walking in the woods, around nature, it just energizes me. I think we're all connected to nature anyway. It feels so good. On the other hand, if I walk around a shopping centre, a city centre, and there's lots of artificial light, they can be fun or whatever, but I find it really draining. But I find nature to revitalise and recenter. It feels so good. That reminds me, I need to do that today. I need to get out in nature today. That's what I'm going to do, a little bit of that. It's so important, and we forget to do these things, don't we? We forget to do these things. And I think it's a great thing just to rejuvenate, to recenter, to just be calm. And I think as well, when I'm walking, I can kind of meditate as well. I can kind of like focus. One moment, sorry. Let me just read the comments. Mr. X, since you appreciate so much, I'm going to take my mum and dad's phone and subscribe from their phones to. Oh, thank you, Mr. X, man. Yeah, I do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Mr. X. Respect. And again, I really do appreciate it. Thank you. So another one, I'm going to move on now. This is a big one, in my opinion. Saying no without guilt. So saying no without guilt. So sometimes if you're really helpful and that's a good thing, great. But some people will know that you'll always help them, and they're always asking you, and they're always asking you, and they're always asking you because they know that you're going to bloody help. But you could be burnt out, you could be tired. Saying no without guilt, mate. When you say no, you say yes to yourself. Remember this because it's important. When you say no, you say yes to yourself. It's okay to say no sometimes, and don't feel guilty. If you're a nice person as well, I do it as well sometimes. I feel say no and I feel guilty, and I think to myself, no, actually, my guilt button is not. I say to myself, my guilt button's not working today. I'll help you as much as I can, but sometimes I've got to say no, man. I've got to look after myself here. I've got my own thing going on. I'm not going to feel guilty about that. And some people, because they're selfish and they're manipulative, will try and use your kindness against you, and they'll try and make you feel guilty. And you shouldn't feel guilty. You should not feel guilty. You don't already want anything. That sounds a bit harsh, but you don't want anything. You don't. But you owe it to yourself to look after yourself. And then help people when you can. of course, that's a good thing. But you've got to look after yourself. So when you say no, don't feel guilty, man. When you say no, you say yes to yourself, man. It's a quote. I don't know who said the quote. I'm paraphrasing, of course. But I think it's important. I'm just going to look back to the notes. Namaste to everyone. I'm enjoying myself here now. Namaste. Absolutely. Sanders asking, how do you deal with your sleep paralysis? I can elaborate on that. Have I experienced sleep paralysis? Yes, I have. Oh, shit, it is scary, man. I got it in my 20s. I used to live in Ibiza. When I was in my early 20s, 20, 21, 22, I used to live in Ibiza. And you can imagine what I used to do in Ibiza. I used to work there. I did 2 seasons. I was young, obviously. I was a young man, let's say, very underdeveloped at the time. But I was a naughty boy. I was drinking a lot. I was taking drugs at the time. Not anymore, of course, but then I was. And I ended up with sleep paralysis. And basically, if you don't know what sleep paralysis is, I would basically be laid down in bed, of course. I'd wake up, but I couldn't move my body. I couldn't move my body, and I'd be shitting myself. I remember even seeing a Grim Reaper, honest to God. Imagine, do you remember Terminator 2 when he's got that really long finger that stretches out? I had a Grim Reaper in front of me. I was in sleep paralysis, and the thing was getting closer and closer to my head. I was shitting myself. I was scared. I couldn't move. Like your body doesn't, your mind's awake, but your body's not moving. I remember it sounds crazy. I had loads of people in my room as well. Imagine one time I had loads of people in my room. They weren't there, of course. It was sleep paralysis. And they were all staring at me. There was 8 of them, and I couldn't move. And I was scared. I was so scared. And this happened it happened for about a year. I was having it maybe once or twice a week for about a year, sleep paralysis. And I know it sounds crazy, but I kind of got used to it. So I stopped being so scared of it. I just got used to it. I thought, oh, here we go again, sleep paralysis, whatever. Because I got desensitized to it. Sounds crazy. And then once I started to become accepting of it, I think as well, I wasn't being healthy at the time. I wasn't eating well. I was drinking. I was taking drugs. I wasn't getting enough sleep. I was malnourished. I think that might have contributed to sleep paralysis and also fear as well. But once I started to become, I got used to it basically, and it stopped. All of a sudden, it just stopped. I've not had it since, but I had it for about a year. That's my experience with sleep paralysis. Also, that's in line with lucid dreaming, isn't it? For me, it's my friend keeps saying how a bad person I am, point out and laughing. So, sorry, 1 month, sorry, let me have a look. So Proud555 says, he just shakes it off. I hold my hand really hard. Yeah, it's like to let go of the tension kind of thing. That could help, yeah. And then it went away. Yeah, that's one way of dealing with it. It's not a nice experience though. It's scary, man, because you've no control of. For me personally, I couldn't control my body. I was led there, frozen, but my eyes were awake, and I was lucid dreaming at the same time. Back to the lucid dreaming comment. But my friend keeps saying how a bad person I am, and point out and laughing. That's not very nice, is it? They're laughing at you. Is that in the sleep paralysis? I think sometimes as well, give yourself like a hug, like inside your head. Just like imagine yourself giving yourself a hug. Just be kind to yourself. Say something nice to yourself. Say something you appreciate in life. I think appreciation can help, and appreciate things that you do that you're good at. And be kind to yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Kind of thinking is, you get it in your, Proud55 saying it's in your sleep paralysis. So someone's like, yeah, that's your fear, isn't it? That's your inner fear. I'm assuming, I'm interpreting, should I say. That's your inner fear saying that you're a bad person, that you're pointing at and they're laughing at you. And that's making, obviously it's not nice. That's your inner fears, pointing out your fears. Yeah, that's what that is, I think. That's how I'd interpret that. Obviously, you'll have your own opinion, of course. That's something to work on, maybe. That's something to work on. because you're not a bad person. You're not human. You're not perfect. It's acknowledging your imperfections, I suppose. That takes the pressure off a little bit. Thinking, actually, do you know what? I've done my best today. It's been sometimes, some days I turn up for work or whatever. I do these videos. Sometimes these videos that I make aren't perfect at all. And I'm really hard on myself and I beat myself up. Oh, I should have said this. I should have done that. And then I think to myself, do you know what? I've turned up. I've done my best. And that helps take the pressure off a little bit. Yeah, Grim Reaper. Yeah, oh, shitting myself. Honest, Grim Reaper, honestly. It was a jacket, actually. It was a jacket that was hung up on a wardrobe door. But when I was sleep pricing, it was a Grim Reaper. With the finger, just a long, pointy finger going longer and longer and longer. It was coming towards my face. And I wanted to scream, but I couldn't. I was shitting myself. It was, oh, yeah. But that only happened once. Thank God. That was a long time ago. It was over 20 years ago, that. It's not happened since, thank God. Luna saying Trump's a PDF file in Epstein's book. Changing subject. Sorry, what do you mean, Luna? Good, nice of you to join us, by the way. Please elaborate, if you feel like it, of course. I'm going to carry on anyway. Another way you can deal with learning to let go, back on topic, one moment, sorry. All MAGA were always PDF files. Is that the Trump and Epstein thing? Yeah, interesting. Interesting. If I'm honest, I've not looked into that recently. I need to, maybe I'll have a look after the video. With regard to the whole Epstein thing's crazy, isn't it? There's a lot I don't know, if I'm honest. And I think things have developed recently, haven't they? This is why I always teach kids about LGBTQ too. Right, I don't know what you mean by that, sorry. I know what LGBTQ is, but I need to look into that thing. That's interesting because that's quite relevant, isn't it? That's just developing recently. I know that, but I've not looked into it recently. Because Republicans, I'm assuming you're American, I could be wrong, because Republicans are the last to ever have any say about kids. Interesting, man, interesting, but I need to look into that. I'm going to carry on with my video for now, sorry, but I'll keep referring to the comments, like, keep them coming, I'll respond the best way I can. I do need to look into that whole Trump Epstein thing though, because I know it's changed recently. I'm going to have a look at that because that is interesting. Anyway, so sometimes it's good to do nothing on purpose. A lot of the time, you might be at work and people go, oh, what are you doing at the weekend? Are you doing anything? And you feel like saying, oh, I'm doing this exciting thing. But sometimes, you know what? Doing nothing is amazing. Doing nothing. Have nothing planned. No pressure. Take that pressure off. Have some me time. Relax. Be in nature. Watch a series. Watch some crap on TV. Sometimes a comedy is good. Sometimes a series that isn't serious. Watching things that aren't serious is good sometimes as well. It's getting the balance, isn't it? Luna's saying that you help your niece transition as well too. Okay, you're helping your niece transition. Cool, that's a good thing, isn't it? You're supporting them. That's a nice thing. I'm going to carry on. And also, you've got to protect your peace in life. Protect your inner peace. Don't get sucked into these dramas. Don't get sucked into having to fight people verbally or whatever. Don't get sucked into being angry at people, upset with people. It's just good. It's okay to acknowledge what they're saying. It's okay to protect yourself, but then just don't get emotionally invested in it all. Take a step back. Then you're good. You've got your inner peace then you're at a higher frequency. It's a good thing in my opinion. So Proud 555 say it is a bad energy like in 2005. Trump did an interview and said, I walk in a teen room, 14. He's walking into a teenage changing rooms and they're 14 to 19. That's awful, yeah. That's messed up, isn't it? That's not good. And this is an example, though. It's like, that's horrible. It's good to acknowledge these things, and they are interesting. Don't get me wrong. It's interesting, but it's not positive, let's say. It's good to be, it's good to acknowledge these things and be aware of them, but don't get too upset. Just take a step back, because you can't control it. It's already happened. They're going to do it anyway, aren't they? It doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean you should point it out that it's bad or anything, but it's just taking a step back. Protect your peace, like I'm saying. Protect your peace, man. And there's a lot to be said by inner peace. You just feel calm, you feel good, you feel like you can tackle things easier then as well. When you protect your peace, it makes life a little bit easier, makes it a bit more enjoyable, in my opinion. Some people are addicted to the chaos, though, but not for me. Anyway, I'm going to move on. And it's not selfish to protect your own energy. It's survival, mate. No one else is going to come and save you. They're not. Maybe some people will help you out, but you're responsible for yourself. You're responsible for your own energy. No one's coming to save you. You've got to protect your own energy. Don't waste it on bullshit. Don't waste it on arguments. Don't waste it on those things. It's not good. Doesn't end well, does it? Doesn't end well. And you're only damaging yourself as well by being emotionally invested in drama and bullshit and craziness. You're just hurting yourself, mate. That's my opinion anyway. If anyone's got any thoughts on that, then elaborate, of course. So I'm going to move on. Now I'm going to So does anyone carry anyone emotionally? Does anyone carry anybody emotionally? I'm going to be quiet for a moment for a change. So I'll ask the question one more time. And the question is, who do you carry emotionally? Or has anyone carried anyone emotionally in the past? Sandra's saying, I carried my parents, especially my mum, for most of your 20s. Wow, so you was like being an adult. You was being an adult to your mum, basically. You was parenting your mum in that situation. That can happen a lot of the time as well. We expect our parents to be obviously all-knowing, all-powerful, I suppose, and I suppose they are when you're younger. But sometimes it's children having children, isn't it? So children having children. And it doesn't matter of the age. Sometimes when people are just emotionally, they're not developed. Yeah, so Sandra's saying it's like they were children and I was the adult. That's crazy, isn't it? So it's like you've been unconsciously coerced into being the parent in that situation. But that's not easy either, because that can actually stop you in a way, I suppose. It can stop your own development because you don't get the chance to be young. You don't get the chance to be. Happens as well with sometimes what can happen as well is you can have parents and they have children. And then the oldest child, for example, or it doesn't even have to be the oldest child, and they end up parenting the younger children, don't they? Because the mum and the dad aren't looking after the kids, for example. So the oldest child looks after the children. Sometimes they end up cooking for them and looking after them. And sometimes that's because the mum and dad might not be physically able to do anything, or sometimes they're just not emotionally available to do anything. Depends on the situation. So Sandra's saying, yes, it was hard, but it made me into who I am today. So you've took some strength from that. Amazing. That's amazing. You've the hardships and the suffering that you experienced when you were younger, meaning that you had to be emotionally mature towards your parents to carry them in a way. You've used it. It can't have been easy, but you've got some strength from that. It's finding strength from the suffering, isn't it? It's finding strength for that suffering. Sometimes bad things that happen, it's easier said than done right now, but when shit happens, sometimes it can be used for good. That suffering, you can use it to make you stronger. Sometimes you need that suffering in your life. As hard as that can be, sorry. Sometimes you can use that. You need the suffering just to make you who you are. Pressure makes diamonds, as I say, always. Pressure makes diamonds, man. So Prowl555 saying, getting compared to each other. Yeah, I see how that could be a bad thing. Good thing I'm the only child. Are you the only child? Well, that has a different set of challenges, I suppose. But I suppose you avoided that, which is a good thing. Yeah. Not everyone experiences these things, of course. Everyone's got different experiences. Sorry, I'm going on a little bit. So what would happen? Another question. So what would happen if you set that weight down, even for a moment? So what would happen if you set that weight down, even for a moment? So if you just let that go, what would happen then if you just put that weight down? I'm just going to have a sip of water, sorry. I'm having a little rest, if I'm honest. I've been talking for a while. Well, for me anyway. You'd flourish in your own energy. Oh, yeah. If you just stop carrying all that emotional baggage of others, you're going to start to just be in your own energy, aren't you? Your own thoughts, your own feelings. That's where solitude can be a good thing. And being in solitude doesn't mean you're lonely, by the way. You could be on your own in solitude and you can feel great, man. Or you could be around loads and loads of people. No one knows you. No one understands you. And you can feel really lonely. You could be around loads of people and they don't really care about you. They don't really think about you. It's sad. That can happen. It's happened to me in the past. No one really has your best interests at heart. No one really knows you either sometimes. Some people don't even get to know you. They don't ask you questions about yourself. They just use you as a sounding board. So all of their problems come to you, but they don't listen to what you've got to say. They don't, in that instance, they don't really care about you, do they? It's sad. And that's why you shouldn't take on people's emotional baggage sometimes. It's just being your own energy. Yeah. I'm going to carry on. Sorry, guys. Thank you for all the comments, by the way. I really appreciate everyone that's subscribed, the likes, the comments, anything. Even if you don't agree with everything that I'm saying, that's absolutely fine. I think it's good, me personally as well. Some people want people to agree with them all the time, and that's great, of course, that's great, it's nice, don't get me wrong. But sometimes people have different perspectives and different opinions and different experiences, and I think they're good as well. It's good to listen to other people's perspectives, other people's opinions, even if they don't agree with my own, because you can't always agree. I think you can learn from other people as well. And a lot can be learned within the community that I'm building. People contribute and they give their perspectives, and that helps everybody to grow, helps everyone to learn and develop. It's really important. It's not just me speaking and everything that I say is gospel. No, man, that's my opinion anyway. It's more of a collaborative thing. That's what I'm trying to achieve as well. It's a collaborative thing with lots of people's opinions, and that's the community that we're building now is all part of that. It's important, in my opinion. It helps everybody, helps myself as well. And I'm not perfect. I've not got it all together. I'm still learning. I always will be learning. Always will be learning. I'd like to be as humble as I can with regards to that, because no one knows everything. No one's got everything all together. No one's perfect. We're all human. We all make mistakes. But we try and learn, and you try and grow from them and do your best you can, and just do your best every day, basically. So I'm going to be closing soon. So yeah, thank you. Thanks for everyone that's contributed, everyone that's watched for even for a few seconds, everyone that's liked, everyone that's subscribed. It means the world. Thank you. I really appreciate you all. It's amazing. Thank you very much. Honestly, I'm going to keep doing lives like this. I do other content as well. If you check out the channel, and where the videos are more punchy, they're edited, but I find these to be more enjoyable. I can express myself more. I suppose my genuineness and my honesty, which I'm trying to portray the best I can, it conveys better via a live compared to the edited videos, because the edited videos are short and concise. And I prefer doing these, if I'm honest. Proud555, you seem to enjoy doing it. Yeah, I do enjoy it. It feels good. And if something feels good, feels positive. I have to keep going with this, I think. I'm going to keep going with the lives, I think. Instead of, I'd spend a lot of time on the edited ones, honest to God. I try and make as perfect as I can, but I think that can skew the message. It can mess up the message a little bit sometimes, because you're trying to say something in a short amount of time. You're trying to get as much information as you can and make it as perfect as you can. But I think that can affect the flow of the communication sometimes. Talk with other people that are talking with other, maybe communicating with other people. That'd be great. Thanks, Prowl555. Appreciate it. And Sander, keep going. I will keep going. I will keep going. I think the world needs more of this as well. The world can be quite a scary place. There can be a lot of suffering going on, and it's hard. It's hard. Let's be honest. Fucking hard. And it's hard for different reasons for different people. And I think this is needed in the world. This is my tiny contribution to the world. Tiny contribution. But I'm trying to make life a little bit nicer, a little bit easier via talking, via awareness, via opening your eyes, by just being a healthier, stronger person, or whatever that means. So, but thank you. Anyway. So moving on, we're getting there now. So referring to my notes again, of course. So you're allowed to rest. Don't forget, you're allowed to rest. Don't feel guilty for having a rest. Don't feel guilty for having a day off. You're allowed to release, and you're allowed to recharge. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to the world. You owe it to the people around you to recharge, because then you're going to be the best self. You need energy. You need energy, and you need to look after yourself. If you don't rest, you don't recuperate properly, you're going to be no good to anyone. You're going to be no good to yourself. You're going to be a burnt out, shallow husk. A burnt out, shallow husk. You don't want to be that, do you? You want to be strong, but you need to rest and recuperate, man. I need to remind myself this, because I keep going all the time. I do too much. Being a little positive vibes in the world with a lot. Yeah, exactly. And a lot of the time, these negative vibes, let's say the news, etc., they're the loudest, aren't they? Sometimes it feels to me that they're the loudest, these negative vibes. We need a bit of positivity, man. Definitely. That's what I'm trying to give out. Inspiration. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm not here to just do nothing. I'm here to, my opinion for my existence is to help others as best I can, to give out good vibes, to inspire. That's why I'm here, and I need to be active with those things. That's why I'm doing this. Is it perfect? No. But I'm going to keep trying. That's the best I can do. I'm doing my best, and I'm going to keep growing and learning through that. And yeah, that's that. So if you're feeling, just referring to my notes again, so if you're feeling heavy right now, it doesn't mean that you're broken. It means you've been strong for too long. So if you're feeling weighed down, it doesn't mean that you're broken. Does it? It doesn't mean that you're broken. It means you've been strong for too long. So please look after yourself. All those strong people out there, all those people that are carrying a lot of weight, we all do. You're not broken. You just need to just reiterating, just be kind to yourself, look after yourself, basically. So I'm going to move on. I'm going to end it soon. Thank you for showing up, by the way. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for participating, all of you out there. I really appreciate it. And if you want me to cover any other topics, I'll be happy to do so, and I'll go deep on those topics. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Look after each other. Look after yourself. Thank you for your time, and goodbye.